Extra, extra, read all about it. Welcome to the Empires Recap, and today we're going to be going over the chaos and drama of our somewhat respected rulers. This week it's time to equip your elytra and grab some rockets, because we have a lot of lore on the horizon. And in this case, it doesn't matter how you spell it.
Last episode seemed strange to Sausage. It reminded him of his previous empire where people would pray to the sunflower goddess in difficult times. These are not his memories. He would have remembered becoming friends with such a person. But if they're not his memories, whose are they? This is the third vision, and he's clearly concerned.
Or 3, it consumes our very soul, and we're never able to escape this prison of memories that I don't know. Let's hope it's never that.
But for now, he needs to protect the people of Sanctuary. He upgrades his armor, but he still likes the armor on his skin. They were built by Eddie for a younger Sausage. Maybe he can ask Catherine for a more colorful peacetime-worthy outfit. Finding a wash-ashore bard was not on his to-do list today, but Sanctuary doesn't discriminate.
Some achy breaky man with an achy breaky heart.
Oh,
But
no!
You've probably never even heard of Elvis.
Who?
Sausage takes the man up to his room and lets him rest. The man appears to recognize him when he wakes up, and yet Sausage doesn't remember him. His visions do. He is taken to a strange place and dressed in strange clothes, with music coming from a nearby church surrounded by sunflowers. The man he just rescued is singing Hallelujah. He doesn't seem to notice him at all. He returns from the vision, and the strange man eventually introduces himself as Ollie.
Old friend, but you might not know me.
Sausage recognizes him as the bard from the rumors. And to be fair, Ollie, there are a lot of taverns, although he could do without breaking the fourth wall about it. He introduces Ollie to Hermes and kind of drags him into the flirtationship between Sausage and the 11-foot-tall god that is Joel. Not to worry, it appears Hermes knows every language except modern English. Sausage takes Ollie over to Glimmergrove to talk with the tailor Catherine and get him some new clothes. She punches him into the harbor to get rid of the smell. Great customer service. Back in Sanctuary, Sausage makes up another magical woodcutting axe for Joel when he drops Hermes back in Stratos. A visit to Evermore results in a potion that gives him a vision, where he finds himself in a snowy village he used to visit as a child to see family. He gives her an elytra and a clock in return. He makes a moss farm next door to his tree farm to create bone meal, and decorates it as a wonderfully colorful chapel with a lovely quiet garden to sit in. He visits the tree of his visions to note them down. He's had 2 just today. Let's hope it doesn't get worse.
Joey wants to get his pirate princess a gift so good that she'll ask him for the ring as soon as she sees it. Surely the other empires are happy to donate to the cause of true love, even if they don't know it yet. After the theft of the stratosphere went so well, Joey continues his trend of taking the most obvious treasure he sees and hiding the evidence, and once Joe gets stealing, he can't stop.
I'm just feeling a little, overly excited now that I'm on a rampage, so might as well just keep going till I can't go no more, right? Yeah.
Half of the goblin gold storage, grabbed. The amethyst heart of Animalia, absconded. A full field of luscious chromium lilacs, larcened. He passes through Dawn, remembering that Gem totally gave him permission to take any treasure he could find, and grabs enough bits and baubles to complete a prism of presents.
No more stealing.
I wasn't stealing, but if you did happen to have anything that you didn't want me to steal, like maybe some treasure, where might that be?
I feel like this is a trick question. I do have a chest. It is labeled treasure. It would be easy. I should change that.
Yeah.
You've given me some good thoughts about a security
You should
system.
change
Thank you.
that.
Pirate Joe finally lands in Glimmergrove, arms full of his gifts for his girlfriend. It spills out of Catherine's castle door, a rainbow display, and the excess even fills up her previously empty bedroom. A showing like this would surely win any pirate's heart. Matters of the heart dealt with, it's back to matters of state. Forgotten Cove is looking good, and Joey's ready to start working on the rest of Eversea. He flattens the landscape in anticipation of a bustling town and builds a beautiful gateway, currently leading to his cow pit. A few roads and custom palm trees later, and Eversea is becoming quite a sight to see.
Joel has decided to get back at Joey for not returning the Stratosphere gold by giving him a boat to replace the one he burnt down. Or more precisely, enough boats to fill the harbor.
Oh gosh. So let's just check the final number of boats we've crafted. It's going to be quite up here. 666! That's perfect. That's perfect.
You might remember this one. Having used the last shipment of wood for the boat prank, Joel returns Hermes to Sausage with a gift of bone meal in hopes of a new sample. Back at the village under Stratos, he prepares some farms to grow carrots to fuel his villager breeding operation and builds a farmhouse to go along with them. He also builds and decorates a tavern to entertain and house guests, and links up various spots in the village with some decorated paths.
Pix's episode is all about installing a new museum in the Savannah Empire to house the important artifacts of both history and present. The first step is to build the museum itself, of course. Right in the heart of the capital, it's large enough to hold plenty of exhibits, even before figuring out the attic space. His first exhibit requires a trip to Tumbletown, finding the diamond-laced fossil that he and Jimmy re-preserved. Digging it out from the deep slate without damaging it is careful work, but Pix is an old hand with his preservation kit now. It takes up nearly an entire wing in the museum, and since everyone likes dinosaurs, they're already lining up for entry.
The zombies are lining up to get into the museum. Honestly, I've had so many pillager patrols spawning around here as though they're queuing up to be my first customers or something.
Pix adds a few smaller exhibits of his own. A piece of ancient debris in gilded blackstone as homage to the long-lost glory days of the Piglins, and of course a sheriff doll and the emerald ore mini-block bribe to represent the first trial of empires. He has one more item to show for now, though this one's on loan from Sausage's collection. The painting of St. Pearl is both beautiful and a continuation of a game of art telephone. As he's working on the road leading away from the Great Bridge, Pix shows off the Chromia edition, complete with Llama ambassadors. He does some more city planning for coming roads and sightlines, and the Savannah is beginning to look a little more like home.
Speaking of city planning, Jem is a civil engineer this week, building up cobbled deep slate and mud roads connecting her empire together. She wants to make the area near the tavern and the seaside into a town center, building up a little fountain. In order to get the deep slate she needs, she kills 2 birds with 1 stone by delving into the mines for a strip mining trip, finding some emerald ore and a spider spawner in her search for diamonds. Inspired by the spiders, she visits the other local princess, Catherine.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous to meet another princess. She's royalty. It's kinda cool.
She makes a rather rude statement.
It's epic. Why is it half dead?
What do you mean?
Well, it's half...
Is there something wrong with it?
No, nothing wrong.
Jem, you just can't ask why someone's castle is half dead. Before she pitches the idea of a princess candle shop.
We're like a princess alliance now.
I love that.
It's perfect.
With that settled, she begins building the shop in the town center of Dawn, but is quickly interrupted by Fwip and Sausage. The two have come bearing a new type of flower, and I'm sure my heart wasn't the only one who ached of this part. Ah, good memories. Once they have left,
I'm actually gonna use the portal so that's closer.
Okay.
Jem finishes off the shop before making the inside look like a little candle-making area. How adorable.
Guys, I had another one of those dreams.
Today, Force wants to make the wings from her most recent dream, but for that, she needs a workshop. The ominous sign on her wall has changed its message, but ignoring your problem is a false problem. She shows us a sketch she's made of these wings from her dream, and is determined to get to work. A visit from Fwip earlier invested lots of emeralds into her villager business that she'll get to work on soon. First, flight. Force finishes her new workshop and immediately gets to work on these wings she wants to have. It takes her a while, but wings aren't the easiest thing to make. She's so excited to fly with her new wings. It comes so naturally to her. She spends some time in the air testing her new wings and going to people's faces to see if they can chart. Nobody's home though. After settling her claim on the tower of the Great Bridge, she flies home with the moon behind her, and she plans to build up her area into a lovely little town. People will definitely want to visit her then. She does some decorating of her base to make it look more homely, and then shows off her working iron farm. More people should visit her when she has an export to sell. It took some time to get it all working, and it turns out villagers aren't fans of small boxes. But for people to come and trade with her, they need to know where she lives. She gets to work trying to connect her nether portal to the nether roof and decorates it with some rocks and a gift of a free iron ingot for any visitors and a flint and steel for misfortunate souls.
False is probably glad that Fwip has left her out of his gift-giving plans this week. A beautiful new railroad has been built from Goblin to Gobville via Lore, just before the sheriff visits to finally deal with the local prisoner. Ollie can have his freedom, in return for some community service in the Goblin Tavern. Now it's time for chaos. Fwip is getting married, and as thanks to his friends flying out to attend, he's moving wardens into their bases, all named "Thanks for coming to my wedding." Because of course. He wants to wait to move the wardens in until the emperors are away, and Joel leaves home first, so Stratos gets the honor of the first to be wardening, and the first of many warden-related deaths. Lizzie leaves, so Fwip slips the Animalia warden gift box into place, but the other 4 members of the wedding gift crew are still at home, so it's back to plan A, preparing warden tunnels in advance. He takes a break to meet with Sausage and show Jem the beauty of the Wither Rose. There's no reference to Season 1 here at all. He makes a shulker of emeralds to invest with False, and now it's Tumbletown's turn to get wardened. Except there's no Deep Dark for the Minecraft equivalent of Miles, so Jimmy's present is waiting next to his nether portal instead. The sheriff won't be using that for a while. Time for Chromia. Flip's redstone trickery isn't enough to save his life, but it does help seal the warden into Scott's present. When he goes to bring a warden to Sanctuary, he makes sure to move Pepe the Parrot out of the line of fire. He doesn't want any dead pets on his conscience. And Flip actually doesn't die this time. Last, but certainly not least, is Gemini Tay. He already built the water elevator in Dawn before, now it's just time to fill it with a terrible monster. At this point, Flip has earned the title of Empire's Warden Wrangler. And congratulations on the wedding from the recap crew. Enjoy your honeymoon, Mr. Flip.
And with that, join us next week for more chaos and shenanigans. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing, and thanks to everyone helping out with the project. Check them all out down below.